YouTube. It's Brother Dennis. And today is the day the Lord has made for us. So I give glory to Him. This is a very hard video for me to make. So I'm gonna start out by saying that last pigeon that y'all seen in my video, sick pigeon. I have a sick pigeon. Well, it passed. It died the same day. That same evening, it died. These are two other pigeons, young bird pigeons, weaning stage pigeons. And it seems like my mistakes that I've made as a rookie are catching up to me, and it's causing my babies, these pigeons, their lives. And I'm going to explain. I'm going to walk outside. This is the back room in my house. So let me walk outside where I can get some fresh air, and I can go into the pigeon coop. And when I get into the pigeon coop, I can explain the pigeon loft. I don't know why I always call it a coop. But I can explain my mistakes, what I believe are my mistakes, how I made them, what caused me to make them, and what's causing my pigeons to die. And well, one died, and those two hopefully won't die. And I'll explain to you what I'm gonna do about it, because I'm really angry at myself. Because these are God's creatures and they don't deserve to be mistreated. Now, I don't want to say mistreated, but not cared for properly. When you make mistakes in animal care and it costs animals their lives, if you don't feel bad for that, then get rid of your animals, because you're a sorry animal keeper. Like, you have to care for your animals. All right? With that being said, let me walk over here and get right into the nuts and bolts of this dang, what I did wrong, what I believe I did wrong. And my experienced pigeon guys, my mentor people, Curtis and Silvio and Mike, Adrian, y'all can comment, tell me if I'm wrong or right or whatever. So my number one biggest mistake, I believe, is throwing together this pigeon breeding stand, whatever you want to call it. These pigeon boxes, they're not good enough, in my opinion, for pigeons to double clutch. What I mean by that is to have babies weaning off of them and sit on eggs at the same time. So I figured that out and got an incubator, right? So my first biggest mistake was not providing them with the right breeding boxes. I believe these are a little bit too small. I don't know. There's something wrong with my breeding boxes. They're just not right. I know this one at the bottom. I know the one at the bottom is too low to the floor. So he's constantly having to fight cocks out of his box, which is fine. He's a tough bird, so he can handle it. So my breeding boxes are wrong. My breeding loft is kind of small, which is fine because I only have 5 pair. The problem I'm having is the cocks I have. 3 of these cocks are so dominant. They want to fight constantly. So that leads to my other mistake. What I did was, when I left them all locked up penitentiary style, left them in their boxes, everything was fine. Soon, but they've been locked up. They've been having babies and weaning a baby. So I said, you know what? 3 of the boxes. Well, one of the boxes don't have any eggs. Didn't have any babies. These 2 weaned their babies, Mr. Tough Guy and Mr. 500. And the 2 boxes below were still weaning babies. But I decided to open the boxes up and let the cocks and stuff out, you know. And I shouldn't have did that. That's another mistake I made, because they got the fighting, they got the territory. They wanted to fight over the porch. They wanted to fight over the boxes. They wanted to fight all the time, and they stopped feeding their babies while the babies were weaning. And then the hens they don't know what's going on. They just see all these males fighting. So now they're worried, like if their male loses and all that, then the other male might come in their box and beat them up and beat their kids up. So the hens are getting worried. They're sitting on eggs, even though they're fake eggs. So nobody's feeding the babies. I didn't realize that. I'm coming because that's another mistake I made. When I come out here to check my pigeons, I'm feeding them, I'm eyeballing them, but I wasn't putting my hands, like physically touching the babies. I was looking at their crops because they're in the nest bowls. But the older weaning pigeons, what they were doing was they would stand up and hide in the back, and I would see them, and I didn't want to stress them out, so I wasn't touching on them, wasn't feeling on them, didn't understand that they were actually slowly starving because the parents, these two bowls down here, 4 and 5, they stopped feeding their babies. 4 kicked her baby out, and he ended up going into 5, and I seen 3 babies in there, and I put them back in. I kept putting them back in 4, but he kept ending up in. I come out here and he was back in 5, so I figured they was feeding them. So, make a long story short, I come out here the other day. It was raining really, really hard. It had rained all night. I come out here. I look at the babies. There's only 2 in the box. I can't find the 3rd baby, the one that passed. He was in this corner back here. I picked him up to put him back in the box. That's when I noticed he was skin and bones. I could feel his breast, like his breastplate or whatever, his keel. I could feel it. There was no meat on it at all. Skin and bones. I was like, yo, something wrong with this pigeon. Then I started hearing him gurgling, like gurg, gurg, gurg. So I knew he had a respiratory problem. So right then and there, I knew he was pretty much toast. But I took him in the house anyway. I tried to nurse him back. He died instantly. I came out here the next day. I said, let me touch these other 2. And I felt them, the 2 that are in there, I felt them, that I could feel their breastplates too. But they wasn't as bad. And it wasn't gurgling. So they're in the house now. They seem to be eating. They seem to be getting their weight back. They look a little bit better today than they did yesterday. They're a little bit more active. So hopefully I saved them too. But I didn't save the first one. So that's still a pigeon. I'm responsible for his death. My mistakes, my lack of knowledge or whatever you want to call it, rookie mistakes. Oh, well, a pigeon died. I know half the people watching this video are laughing like they don't care about pigeon lives. Pigeon lives don't matter to them. But to me, it's a responsibility, you know, not to mention that pigeon, not that it matters, was off one of the best pairs of pigeons I have, box 5 pigeons I got from Curtis. And he assured me that these pigeons are the real deal. And I lost that pigeon. So, and the one that's sick in there is the nest mate, and the box 4 is another one. And those are the only pigeons that these pigeons have produced for me all year so far, because I got late start breeding and all that. So there's a big shot to my program losing these babies before I get to fly them. It's really tough. I got 9 eggs in the incubator right now. 7 are fertile. The other 2 I don't know about. And they're clutching right here. This Mr. Tough Guy, they're starting to have, that's an actual real egg. She just laid that last night. So I'm gonna wait to see if she lays another one. I'm gonna let them naturally incubate there. This would actually be their 3rd round because remember they had 2, Heckle and Jekyll was in there, and they broke an egg. So I pulled the other egg and put it in the incubator. And my plan was to let one of these other pigeons foster it so they would lay another pair of eggs. So I might use these guys here since they're not producing none, even though they're sitting on eggs, and their eggs seem to be fertile this round. So I got to figure something out. Now, these 2 boxes down here, I think the bottom box, only one of their eggs is fertile right now. And it's another box. I want to say it's either box 3 or 4. One of these boxes, their egg, they only have 1 fertile egg. So I'm going to slide Mr. Tough Guy. The problem is Mr. Tough Guy egg is like 4 or 5 days ahead of all the other eggs. So he's probably going to be in their nest as a singleton. So I'm going to move 1 or 2 eggs around and let them like the bottom box, only one of their eggs is fertile. So whichever of the other nests only has 1 fertile egg, because these 3 boxes laid eggs right around within 2 days of each other. All these boxes are together. Mr. 500 is behind, and then Tough Guy, that's his 3rd round. He's behind because they're on their 3rd round of eggs, these 2 top boxes. So I locked everybody back in the boxes. I'm not playing, and I'm not gonna let them out until everybody's weaned. Like, that's it. They're all locked up. We're going penitentiary style because that worked for me the first round. Well, mostly it was working, and then I opened the boxes, and it cost the babies their lives. So those are the mistakes I made. I didn't. It's a raggedy breeding system to begin with because I kind of rushed. I moved to North Carolina in January, so I just threw it together, and I got to improve on it. So that's the biggest mistake I think I made. Second mistake I made was I opened my boxes with these cocks, these dominant cocks, and they want to spend more time fighting and raising babies. Not putting my hands on my babies as they're weaning, knowing if they're eating or not. That's another mistake I made. So I'm making mistakes, y'all. And it's costing me a pigeon life, and I'm not happy about it. I wanted to make this video, to be honest. You know, I wanted to do it in the pigeon loft because I feel better when I come out here and I can see these pigeons, these young birds. They're flying around. They're hungry. I might let them out today. I might let the mated birds fly and then the young birds settle some more. But yeah, that's a tough guy baby. So there's some babies over here. There's, I think, 4 of these babies. I bred them here. That one right there, that checkered one, is one I bred here. That blue bar that's running on the floor was bred here. That's an Adrian P bloodline. That checkered one in the front, that's Mike from Rocky Ridge, and I can tell that because of the bands that I got on their legs. I color coded all my pigeons so I could tell by looking at them who's who. Rocky Ridge right there with the red band. The yellow bands are Midas. The white bands are Vern Clausen birds from Texas. The blue band is it's a blue band right there. That blue bar right there, that's Adrian P. That's Mr. Mr. 500's kids. And Mr. Tough Guy, the one I got him from Mike. There's Adrian P. bird baby. So yeah, I'm dejected behind it. I'm hurt behind it. The pigeon he lost his life. It wasn't even the fact that he was a valuable baby, valuable bloodlines and all that. It was the fact that it was my mistakes that killed him that is hurting me. You know, it's my mistakes. He died on my watch, and I'm not cool with that. I'm not. And now I got them other 2 in there, so I gotta figure out. They're raising their babies all the way up until weaning age, and then I have to figure out what the process is of getting them out of the nest and on the hard food and regular food. Because I got the feeders up there, and I can see, like Heckle and Jekyll, I seen them. I coming around the corner, and I seen them eating, you know. But I don't know if the cocks are fighting or not letting the babies eat when they're trying to eat. Because the 2 babies, when I grabbed them, they were like hidden in the corner. It was like they were petrified. Like they didn't want to move. And I don't know if the cocks are so dominant as the pigeons get older, because I seen a couple of them out on the floor, so I thought they were just weaning themselves. I thought they were good. I seen them flying around, and then when I went to pick them up, they were skinny. They wasn't eating. And I don't know if it was the cocks not letting them eat or whatever, but I'm going to do better, man, because I got this other baby in here. Let me show you him real quick. And it's like I'm worried about him. That's because I only got 1 baby in the nest right now, and it's so. And the ironic part is, he's coming up on weaning age. You know. So it's this baby right here. He's coming up on weaning age, and it's like, are they still feeding them? Are y'all still feeding y'all baby? I mean, they already weaned 2 babies already. The eggs in there are fake, so I'm not worried about them eggs. But are they weaning them? Are they feeding them? Is this crop big enough? It's like I got food in here. I gotta put some more food in here. But yeah, I got these feeders. So I'm just concerned, man. I'm gonna fill their food up right now, actually, what I'm talking about it. Because they'll pick through food and they will. Yeah, so I'm just concerned, man, for my pigeons now. once one dies, it hurts you. It hurts your heart, man. It really, to me, it does. Yeah, I'm gonna give some food. Hard to do with one hand. I forgot my scoop was in there. My scoop out. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand here for a few minutes, probably cut the video off. But I want to see if they're, I know they're eating. I want to see if he's trying to eat food. I want to see if they're feeding him. I want to see what's going on. Like, I guess that's what you have to do. You have to watch. I know somebody's eating the food because it's gone. So, what y'all gonna do? You want me to move over here? Out of your way? I'm gonna do something. I'll come back around the corner, I guess. All right, YouTube, I'm gonna let this video go. I'm gonna figure this out. I lost the pigeon. Pigeon did die. So a baby pigeon, weaning age pigeon too. That's the sad part. So I know it was, I don't know. My wife thinks that the pigeon was maybe could have been unhealthy. That's why the parents kept kicking it out of the nest, but I don't think so. I think it was to the age they would start worrying about their eggs, and the cocks were fighting. I don't know. That's my theory, that the cocks was too busy fighting each other and the females were sitting on that fake eggs and nobody was feeding the babies. So now they're all locked up. Because it's on them too, man. They let one of their babies die. It's on these pigeons too. It's my fault, but I'm not blaming the pigeons, but it's on them too. You know, they're good parents for the most part, I believe. But, all right, YouTube, to God be the glory. Everybody, walk in peace. Love your brothers and your neighbors. And let's make this world a better place.